Say hi. Hi. Hi.
With A with D and J.
Yeah. Hello and welcome back. If it's your first time joining me, I am Jannelle and I help with all things curly and then some. And here's the then some. So today we are going to do a Q&A. This is Daniel, if you're not familiar with, he's my husband.
Hello.
So we are going to do a Q&A / mukbang. And we're starving, so I'm gonna hand out food. Before we get started, go and make sure you have slammed that subscribe button, hit that bell while you are at it so that you do not miss a thing.
Don't miss a thing.
Now let's, all right, let's get into this mukbang Q&A. First question. What is our background?
Our background? That's the kitchen.
I'm 29 years old, born and raised in Las Vegas. I have an associate's degree in business. Most of my work background has been in customer service, property management for a while, and then I got my real estate license, and now I'm here. That's the quick version.
Well, my background is pretty simple. I went to school and had no success there and stopped going to school and started having different kinds of jobs, from like bartending to delivery man, and then I went to the army for like 1.5 years, which I didn't like, but luckily I broke my knee there and started playing online poker, and then started playing more poker, and then pretty much became a professional poker player, and that's what I've been doing the last 7 years.
So question 2 is, how did we meet? So we met on Tinder.
I've been traveling to Las Vegas pretty much since 2012 just to play poker, and I would always stay like a couple weeks or month, and pretty much my last and best visit to Vegas was when I met Jannelle, and then I had to leave again, but I came back and stayed.
What's funny is that I had just been newly single, and Daniel was actually like the first date that I went on off of Tinder. Yeah. And it was kind of like donezo from that point forward. Yeah. Do we want kids?
I mean, we don't know if we want kids yet. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Like, when we see kids being cute, then we want kids. If we see kids being nasty, then we just don't want them. It's pretty simple. We also don't mind having, I mean, it was Jannelle's idea in the beginning, which I didn't like at all first, but then I kind of got more warmed up to it, to actually adopting kids. And
I do feel more inclined to adopt. I don't really feel the need to have, I feel like I can love a child and give them a good home and stability, and they don't have to be my genetics. I don't feel inclined to physically have a child. I don't feel that need. So we'll see. Okay, what about the time spent on my hair?
I mean, I don't mind it. It's the only thing I mind is when Jannelle tells me, oh, he's gonna be ready in 5 minutes, but in real life, it is like 50 minutes.
Lifetime.
No, it's like 50. That's the only thing that bothers me, but I don't care if she wants to take 2 or 3 hours for her hair. Like, you do you. Just tell me, you know, how much Fortnite I can play.
That's funny. Okay, this next question is for me. Have I always worn my hair curly? No, I haven't always worn my hair curly. Everyone in my family had straight hair, and I was really insecure, and I thought my mom was beautiful. I thought my sisters were beautiful, and I really wanted straight hair. So my mom would blow dry it every once in a while, because I would demand it. My mom loved my curly hair, loved it, and she did a really good job styling it too. So that was never the issue. It was just always my want. And then I straightened it for a long time, like through junior high. And then I think it was right around the time I was like 17, 18 years old, I started playing with it again, and it just slowly but surely like turned into me wearing my hair curly more. Last time I straightened my hair was December 2011, and I've worn it curly since. This one's for both of us. Do you ever get negative comments on social media? If so, do they bother you? So I've been pretty lucky, and I experienced a little pettiness, but not really any hate and not really any negative comments. I do my best in general to stay like completely, like put myself completely out there and then just stay positive. And I think like because of that, I don't, like it's not really breeding grounds for it. And not to say that it won't come at some point, because I'm sure it will, like, you know, people get bored and whatever, but my belief is that you always really have to be looking at yourself. And so, you know, there's a difference between like a hate comment and then something constructive. I think it was PewDiePie, isn't it? He was saying that like there's absolute hate comments that are just like garbage that you just have to ignore. And then sometimes there's like comments that are actually coming from a place of concern. Maybe they're not like, or not even concerned, but like they actually care and they're trying to point something out to you.
It's like the difference between someone saying, oh, your shoes are shitty, or saying, oh, your shoes are shitty because they don't fit your, you know, to your outfit. Like it's more.
Well, or like
one is just like a pure hate comment, and the other one is more like constructive, like, oh, maybe those shoes.
But I don't think it's constructive. I think maybe more it's like, hey, those shoes are shitty, versus, hey, your shoes are untied. And like a lot of times people don't want to hear that their shoes are untied, but sometimes they are, and you just need to like look down and tie them and then keep going. And that's really how I try and look at things.
They don't really bother me as much, because like people are like straight negative. I always think just, well, it's you know, it's about them and not about me, because if they're just assholes, then they're just assholes. Like it has nothing to do with me. It just gets a little more complicated when someone is doing it in a hateful, smart way, like trying to be like negative, but actually makes like a good point or so. Then you kind of have to figure out how to like
navigate that.
Navigate through those comments, like what to take away from it and what not to take away from it. So you just figure out, okay, yeah, he's right there, but right here he's just being negative and a hater. So but I mean, it's really like, if anyone, I mean, just also for like an advice for everyone who gets hate comments, like the thing is, it's always about the other person and never about yourself. It's always about the other person and their shortcomings. And if you can just make that clear for yourself, that the hate comments are never about you and always about the other person, then it's way easier to deal with it. Like when now someone writes a hate comment or like a negative comment, I'm like, yeah, you know, this person like needs more love.
Okay, so the next one's for both of us. What motivated you to share on social media? I don't know if I said this before, but Daniel has a vlog. It's currently in German, so all of my Deutschland followers, you can follow his vlog. I'll make sure and put his link in the description. But it's really good. It's fun. It's interesting. He goes into a little bit of like poker and lifestyle, and you see us around the house and our engagement and a ton of CC. So it's definitely really fun.
I just wanted to have a different creative outlet and just learn something, do something new, and like have a way to connect with people. And I was just kind of ready to share stuff with the world, and that's kind of what motivated me to make videos, and to just also to get feedback, like to have like a positive impact, to be like entertaining, and also to do it for myself, like to like learn more about myself. It's not the easiest thing in the beginning to like look into a camera and watch yourself like, you know, talking.
It's so weird. The first person that put social media kind of on the map for me was my sister Sydney. She's on Instagram. Her @me is Sydney O'Shit. I'll tag her in the description below. My sister was I think one of the OGs in the Instagram community, sharing her makeup. She did really, really cool artistic looks. And it ultimately got her a job with Milk Cosmetics, and she's there now. And watching that like just really inspired me. It kind of put it on the map of like, okay, like there's really something that could be built coming from social media. In my community, there are not a lot of women walking around with curly hair, but then you get on social media and there's a ton. And I didn't realize like how many women there would be to learn from. So I started off actually learning, and then as I was learning, I was sharing my experiences, and then it just kind of kept going. And overall, like what it ultimately boils down to is it's a really cool way to give back. You know, I didn't have this kind of help when I was younger. Encouraging women to love themselves, men and women. There's, you know, men and women both in the curly community. Being able to encourage people or be part of those wins or help them figure something out. Women that are just starting to wear their hair curly for the first time. And sometimes I'm the person that helps them, and sometimes I'm the person that's directed to the person that helped them, and sometimes I'm just there like rooting them on and they figured out something themselves, but it's really a rewarding process to be part of. And I believe that it trickles into everything. I think when people can love themselves, then they can love the world a little bit more, and things get better. And so that's just kind of, this is my way of contributing to the bigger macro goal I have.
That's why you should hit that subscribe button.
Yes, wham that subscribe button. Are we done? We're done. I need to finish my burger. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A with me and Daniel.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, which is gonna be right here.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
I am Jannelle. Thank you all again for joining me.
Bye.
Bye.